Hello everybody, welcome back to another Halloween Season review. Today I'm looking at Rebuilding Seattle. I just completed a solo playthrough video and I'm not going to edit it down, but it's 2 hours long. If you're interested in checking that out, give me an idea of the solo play experience, go ahead and do that. But I'm going to go ahead and review this game as a whole now. This is a game published by WizKids and is for 1 to 5 players, taking anywhere from an hour to 2 hours to play. And I think that's probably pretty accurate. I mean, my solo playthrough was a lot longer, I think, than it really needed to be, but that's, me thinking through things and wanting to make sure I was doing things correctly. So that's one big plus to Rebuilding Seattle. Number one, the player count, 1 to 5 players. That's an excellent spread, and I think it works fairly well at all levels here. The obviously it's very kind of different as far as the experience, but it scales well. They have different elements in there that can help scale for more players. So generally you're taking these cards and stuff from this row, but as you have different players, you add different more card options to go with the different players as well. So it scales well with the different player counts. This box is heavy. Oh my word. Let's talk about the quality, the components of this. You have kind of this insert here, which, I mean, honestly, it's just a lot of content. I really wish, one of my biggest negatives of this game is you have all of these little tiles in all of these different colors, and yeah, it takes a while to kind of pull those out and sort them all out. I mean, if you have more players, it'll probably go a little bit quicker, but you can kind of see all the tiles that I have set up here, and it just takes a little bit to set up those tiles there. That's one of the negatives. As far as the quality of the components, though, it's heavy. The game is heavy because it has a ton of cardboard. It has a ton of content in here. We have this really nice board here. We have a bunch of cards. There's all of these, as I mentioned, these tiles, these polynomial, the Tetrisy tiles over here. And we have a bunch of money tokens. There's 6 of these different player boards, which provide different laws. So you have unique abilities that you can play around with. So lots of replayability there. There's these starting tiles, which are unique as well. There's so much content within the box. It's pretty amazing. So yeah, quality components, fantastic. We get to the rule book. The rule book is great. There were some questions that I had on the solo play as I was going through, but being on camera and stuff, I may have missed some of that. But it has examples with pictures and everything, so I think that the rule book does a nice job. So pretty easy to explain the game as well. So no issue there. The biggest thing for me was, again, the setup. That's my biggest downside, is you just have a lot of components that you're going to have to spend some time getting ready for the game itself. So let's actually talk about the game. So the gameplay, you are taking turns. You basically have this board here, and you have these different event cards that can be triggered on your turn. You're either adding these different suburb tiles onto your board so that you can add these different buildings. Getting certain buildings are going to increase your amenity track here and your quality track potentially for each of these 3 here. And then the other option you have, other than activating one of your special abilities, is to activate these different events. There's 3 events that kind of help with decreasing your population, which is going to help your ability to score these other events. And you have this event here helps get other suburbs. This one here gets you money and victory points and different things from round to round, kind of changes. But the the core of the game is based on these different scoring options here. And you can, whenever you activate these, whoever activates it gets a special bonus, this top portion. So they can either gain one of these shopping tiles and you would increase your amenity because it has a symbol on it, or gain 3 victory points. And then everyone scores their quality track. The way that quality track is scored is based on the population, which you are trying to pull down because you're really trying to get your amenities to equal or surpass your population. If it doesn't, if it's lower than that, you could still get points and everything based on your quality track, but you have to subtract the number that you are off. So if I'm at 13 and this is there, I'm back by 5. So if this, if I was scoring this and my quality was up here in 18, I would get 18 money and 18 points. Because I was 5 off from that, I would subtract 5. So I would get 13 money and 13 points, which is still really good. But you have to kind of balance that out. And you definitely can't like work on all of them. It's just not going to be possible. In the solo play, I was able to focus on a couple of these and really not touch the entertainment. And I was able to do pretty well with that. So that's a little beginner strategy note that the rule set gives you as well, is don't try to, increase everything. Try to focus on 1 or 2 of these. And I think that works out well. And so as each of these are activated, they're flipped over. And once all of these events are activated, that ends the round. You go into a profit phase. There's different cards that are going to give you different ways to get money to help build more buildings, expand more. There's also cards that you'll get as you build buildings here that may give you end of game scoring. There's special landmark tiles that can be unique for the game. There's a bunch of these, and you'll play with just a few in each game. They cost a lot, but can be worth a lot of points. In my solo game, this was 16 points, and I think 13 points that I was able to get from each of these. And yeah, it's a really well designed game. I think the mechanics are great. There's a lot of replayability, a lot of different type of building cards. We only, through a solo mode, you only play with those cards in the one round, and then the next round you swipe everything and you have cards from round 2. And it's 3 rounds, but those rounds, they get a little bit longer too as you have more money. But it's also timed with these activations, so it's kind of an interesting gameplay mechanic that I enjoy as well, is that the players these are really how you're going to be scoring most of your points besides end game points, is when these are activated. And if you can activate it sooner than other people would like, you're going to be putting yourself in a better spot. If you put them off for too long, there's some nice bonuses for activating them, so it incentivizes people to do so. And yeah, I think it's really great. That is Rebuilding Seattle. I enjoyed it a lot. And if you want to check out that solo playthrough, go ahead and check that out. And thanks for watching. If you liked the video, please consider giving it a like and subscribing if you haven't already. And that is how Lou sees it.